Hello everyone. I remember almost 2 years ago, reading how the substance DMT affects our brains, bodies, spirits, or whatever else, on this site, and many other different sites as well. DMT Hyperspace, something I never would have ever imagined to be an actuality, to be an actual reality that may very well be real. I remember laughing at a site's FAQ explaining the possibilities on how and what DMT does and/or is. I was 16 years old then, and since then, I have experienced with psilocybin mushrooms and LSD a great number of times, and they were and still are some of the most amazing and most beautiful experiences I have ever had in my entire life. Sometimes, the most terrifying as well. It wasn't until recently that I have obtained a large amount of DMT. I was very much excited, I had very high expectations, and have been waiting for more than 2 years to finally break through DMT Hyperspace. Here is my story. In the recent past and current present, I have been experimenting with large doses of DMT. I started off with lower doses at first, getting a mild DMT body high and visuals, similar to the peak of an LSD or psilocybin mushrooms trip, only lasting around 5 to 10 minutes, which sounds about right. I was getting to these levels at first with a group of friends, as so were they, but none of us ever came close to breaking into a hyperspace. I started to have my doubts, but knew that there was still more to the substance. I perhaps just hadn't perfected the technique in smoking it out of an oil burner or glass vaporizer. It wasn't until recently when I finally perfected the process in vaporizing and smoking the substance, and reaching a hyperspace of some sort. Colors would randomly appear in front of me, merging within everything, become one. It was an amazing thing, an amazing feeling, an amazing experience like no other. I thought to myself. I was getting to this place, assuming that this place was the highest level of DMT, and assuming this was the hyperspace everyone was talking about. However, I was wrong. The first time it happened, I was in my apartment, by myself, away from friends, family, all of that. I did it sitting in a pretty comfortable game chair I got for Christmas one year, which was set up in my room. I was able to get around 3 very long big hits when it happened. It wasn't really like being shot out of a cannon into hyperspace, or anything like that, but something different. It was more, well, it was in fact, a teleportation. I was teleported into an alien spaceship compartment, flying through space. I don't mean like it was kind of like an alien spaceship, or I thought it was an alien spaceship. No, it was an alien spaceship. There were no colors everywhere, or it wasn't like it traveled through hyperspace, or anything that had happened to me in the past. This was so real. So detailed, it was so detailed in every way. It was like I was really there, in a spaceship. It was reality. I wasn't dreaming, tripping, anything like that. I was actually there. The entire time I sat there, not being able to move, but just gaze in amazement, I felt a presence. I felt an alien presence above me, like they were watching me, observing me. Like they were talking to me telepathically, communicating with me through thought, trying to show me things, or perhaps they were trying to experiment with me. I was so afraid, confused, yet amazed at the same time. It seemed like I was there for almost an hour, and maybe I was. My perception of time was out of the window, my mind was in shock. The last thing I remember while being in that spaceship, is a strong telepathic signal from one of the aliens that triggered something inside me. I was able to look down at my legs, my arms, and see my bones twisting and turning. My hair building thicker and thicker, I was turning into a monkey. It was so real, I just can't stress that enough. I was totally freaking out when everything suddenly teleported back to my room, back to my reality. However, though the hyperspace, though the aliens had left, I was tripping hard. Everything around me was twisting and turning, my bones would still twist and turn if I looked at them long enough. When I looked in the mirror, I looked like I was an alien. Everything was just off, and it was so intense. That lasted for at least 30 minutes or so, which eventually faded, as I laid in my bed, not being able to stop thinking, not being able to sleep. My entire body, mind, and spirit was in awe. The next day, I told my roommate everything that happened, and he, like myself, was always fascinated by DMT and always joked about alien life forms and conspiracy theories and junk. However, he was very afraid of actually going to the places that were described as the DMT hyperspace, and as much as he enjoyed reading and understanding the drug, he would not do it. He wasn't ready. After a long discussion on what I had experienced, I was actually convinced that I had contacted with a very intelligent alien life form through DMT. I had this crazy theory, like the aliens knew I had DMT, and were trying to contact me, show me things while I could see them when my third eye was activated. Crazy, right? Anyways, my friend said I should try it again tonight, and see if I have a similar experience. I concluded that I would in fact try it once again later that night. I did it in the same place, around the same time, with the same dose. Beyond hyperspace, time, and life. Everything around me instantly began to change. It was so alien, so unbelievable. I could see energy coming up my body, telepathic communications all through and throughout my body. Energy shifting around me, life as I know it showing me that there is so much more than the simple physical realm of fantasy I live in. I was being told instantly that aliens were in fact very real, and I knew they were now. I knew that if this is happening right now, right here, then there is no way they are not real. It was so unexplainable, so intense, so real. It was nothing I have ever heard throughout readings on the internet or books about the drug. I was out of control, life was out of control. I was in the middle of another transportation, except it was so much more intense. Right before my eyes I left the physical realm, I was able to look down and see once again my bones twisting and turning everywhere, my hair growing. I look up to scream, but it was too late. My head is thrown back as my spirit or brain is transformed into pure energy. I am now flowing through a network of systems, and I am one with the aliens. I am what they are. I am super intelligent. I know all the secrets of the world. Bam. Just like that, constant super intelligent information is transmitted into my brain by the aliens, who are energy like me. It all comes to me. The ultimate understanding rhythms of the human conspiracy about life's deepest concepts can be broken into by the journey to an intergalactic hyperspace of universes. Enduring into these worlds will produce realities of self-inflicted fantasies, however they are real. Your body is that place while your spirit is trying to leave and show you extraordinary things. Your mind will learn what your spirit has learned, and in the end your ultimate individuality will grow as a force here on the planet Earth. Noisy sensations of parallel feelings towards distinction, triumph, and immortality like realities slam our brains from every single most exact dimensional layers according to the most advanced properties of physics. They are playing with me, laughing at me, showing me their world, explaining the many secrets of alien life, and the many secrets of the physical realm I had been living on. I knew everything. I knew that I knew it was right. I still think it might be right. I am one with everyone. I am the universe. I can produce a million words into actuality at once, and so can they. It was the most beautiful world of colors and life, fairies and aliens, ghosts and angels. It was everything. It was the spiritual realm of existence, and they loved me so much. They told me so much, and they told me that I could come back whenever I wanted, and to bring as many friends as possible, because they will show them everything too. When I started to finally come back to reality, I wasn't afraid about anything anymore. I didn't question life anymore, and this is because I actually believe that I was just taught all of the secrets of the world. Right before I left the spiritual world, I was enhanced with a supercharge of energy, allowing me to have the most intense mind expansion anyone had ever imagined. I could create and do anything in my mind, and see it, like it was happening. I had a rush of euphoria, more intense than the greatest LSD and mushroom euphoria put together by a million. I still was in touch with aliens, but I could not see them, not physically that is. This feeling lasted for at the least an additional 40 to 50 minutes after the heaven I had just left. I smiled, looking down at a text from my roommate, who had been staying at his girlfriend's that week. "Well, what happened, man? How did it go? Did you see aliens again?" I didn't even respond. I didn't have to, because I knew that the physical realm was nothing more than an illusion. I knew that the spiritual realm, the infinite realm, was and would always be the more beautiful and more intelligent realm. I knew this, because the aliens knew this. I was filled with the greatest feeling I have ever felt. It was the greatest experience I had ever experienced. It was better than anything real, better than anything here. I then knew to myself that I had become addicted. Physically no, but my mental mysticism and desire was so intensely obsessed about what was going on. For the remainder of the night I listened to some trance techno for a few hours and then I fell asleep like a baby, and remember having some very intense dreams with memories of seeing the aliens while I was asleep. When I awoke, my roommate had came back and was so curious, so concerned about what had happened. I remember his exact words, "Dude, what the hell happened last night, man? Look at his crazy text you sent me." I looked at his phone, and smiled, even though I should have been freaked out. It was a text from me that said, "We have shown your friend everything he needs to know. We want you, too." I didn't remember texting that at all. My friend was starting to worry and kind of freak out. "What is going on, man? Is this really happening? Are these things really happening to you, or are you messing with me?" I looked down, now confused again. Is this real? Do I even know what real is anymore? What is happening to me? I think I am either actually discovering the secrets of the world, or slowly slipping into insanity. Oh my. That night, I sat there, looking at it. Looking at the DMT, loaded in the pipe, ready to go. What should I do, I thought. I have to get back to where I was. They told me I could go back whenever I wanted. It was decided. I did it in the same place, around the same time, with the same dose. Energy began to flow like before. Alien telepathic communications were strong. I began to look up and close my eyes, only to be shot back into that mystical alien spaceship I was in before, the hyperspace heaven. I was on one of those machines that carry stuff in like a factory, being rolled through some kind of processor data analyzer machine, seeing the aliens all around me, looking down at me, angry. They were so intimidating, angry, upset, mad at me, but I didn't know why. I wasn't in the beautiful place they had taken me before, but I was in a more physical realm, but different dimension. They were just looking at me, sucking all of the intelligence out of me that they had given me before, angry at me for some reason. I didn't know why, I didn't know what I did, I didn't understand. I was shot out the spaceship quicker than normal, and back kind of sort of to my reality, except my body was once again changing as I looked at it. My hands were complete monkey, along with big hairy arms. I felt like I was actually a monkey, and I thought I had began to scream like a monkey. Ooh ooh, ee, ah ah. I felt lost, I felt like part of my brain was crazy, and I was no longer super intelligent, and there was also no more strong intense euphoria like before. What had happened? Why? No. Conclusion and final thoughts. After I was completely down, I began to really rethink reality and what has happened to me in the last week. Perhaps it was time for me to leave the substance alone for a while. I need a week or so to settle down, think about what has happened, try and figure out what was going on. I needed help, I thought, not from a doctor. I wasn't completely crazy yet. I am still in touch with my own reality, but I am very well beginning to question reality like no other time in my life. I feel as though that I have broken through to another level of DMT. That I have went to a level past DMT, made contact with the other side, like they had connected to me. The things that had been happening to me were nothing like a drug. Nothing like LSD or anything like it could ever do what this has done, not even close. This substance was something else, a key to our chemical structure, a key to our DNA, the key to life. I thought that I had been living in a science fiction horror movie, and that I was quite possibly on the edge of going insane. I just don't know what to think about all of this.